everybody, Rick here again with Let's Level Up, and today we're going to be talking about a pretty sweet card game that was just introduced to me through our Let's Level Up podcast, which is on iTunes and Stitcher Smart Radio. If you are listening, thank you. If you are not, give it a listen. We've had some pretty sweet guests on. Some designers from Tasty Minstrel and Justin DeWitt from Fireside Games, maker of Castle Panic, was our most recent guest. And we've had other reviewers on, and it's been a very, very cool project. And one that we're very excited for to keep moving forward. Anyways, Seth Jaffe from Tasty Minstrel Games actually recommended this to me in our podcast that we did. Hanabi. This is a game by Antoine Bauza. He is the maker of Takenoko, if the name is familiar. This is a little independent game that he had published through R&R Games. It's just a card game for 2 to 5 players. It ranges 8 and up, but really there's I don't necessarily feel that the age limit needs to be that high. I've attempted to play this with my 5-year-old. He did not quite understand it, but I think once you start getting into first grade, this is going to be a really good game. He's not quite there yet. It takes about 30 minutes to play, and really it could be a lot quicker if you make mistakes. But this is Hanabi, and in this game we are the players. Represent imperial fireworkers, right? So we create the fireworks for these spectacles over Japan. And there's been a really bad mix-up, and the fireworks display is going to be devastatingly cut short unless we come into action and try to fix that. So what we're going to be doing is essentially putting together 5 different fireworks, each of a different color. And to do this, we're going to have to put together a straight of the same color. So essentially, we're trying to complete a straight flush for each color. So we have 5 different colors, and then we have 5 different cards within those colors, numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, putting together a straight flush. The catch is we don't know what we have in our own hand, which is very interesting to me. I really, really enjoy social games. I think they're awesome. Now, this is not like something like the Resistance, which we featured before, or anything like that. This is a cooperation social game. So essentially, we're going to see our partner's hands, and then we can spend tokens in order to give them clues about their hand. And whenever we give somebody information about their hand, we can either tell them information about a single color or a number that they have in their hand. So for instance, if I have a red 1, and a red 3 in my hand, somebody may tell me that I have a 1 and then point to my 1. Somebody may tell me I have 2 reds and then point to my 2 red cards that I have in my hand. All in all, it's going to be very, very good memory exercise, this game. I really enjoy it for that aspect. I really like this in a classroom setting as well. I think this is a game that could be a lot of fun with the kids. And I enjoy it in the family atmosphere as well. I've played this on my lunch break with my coworkers several times now, and they've all really enjoyed it, and I do as well. On myself, again, I'm the gamer that plays everything. I give Hanabi a solid 8 out of 10. This is a really fun game. It's very inexpensive, and it's very difficult, and it keeps getting better the different number of players that you have. So whenever you introduce new players to the game, you can just kind of see them working through the game in their own heads, trying to figure it out, trying ways to be able to remember what they have in their hand, but still at the same time manage our tokens to be able to give information. It's a blast. Hanabi may not be for everybody. If you're a fan of the really big board games, Hanabi may be a little too small for you. This may not have exactly what it is you're looking for. But if you're interested in a game that really makes you think, and it makes you talk to the other players at the table, Hanabi is a game I think is going to be right up your alley. Very strategic, really awesome. I'm going to pop open the box really quick and just show you the concept of the game. We're not going to go to the table, we're just going to be right here. And then that's going to be it for the video. So thank you very much. Rule booklet, very, very small, very easy to play Hanabi. There are 2 different types of tokens. There are clock tokens represented here in the blue. Whenever you give somebody information, you're going to take one of these from the center and put it back into the box. The other type of token is this black token that's represented by a fuse. And there's actually 3 of these tokens. If I ever play a card that is not allowed, either it's already been in play or is not an eligible number at the time, we remove one of these fuse tokens, and the fuse gets shorter and shorter. Once the fuse gets to the explosion mark, which is this guy right here, boom, the fireworks go off, and we score the points based on how many cards we have in play. So there is a perfect game. If you can play all 25 cards, you've got a perfect game. We played at lunch the other day. The closest we've got is 19. And I think we could have done a little bit better. We had a couple misplays in there. But if you do in the 20s, you're doing very, very good. 19 was rated excellent. And we had a couple mistakes. So, I mean, it's overall a very fun game and a very difficult one at that. Let me pull the cards out here. These are just some of them. Okay, so in Hanabi, we're going to be given a deck of cards. They are colorless on the back. They have a nice gray-white, kind of black-white look here, which is really cool. They're going to fan out to a blue color, kind of a dominant color. And in our turn, we're going to grab 5 cards. We're always going to have a hand of 5 cards, so we have the choice of either giving somebody information about their hand, discarding a card from our hand, or playing a card from our hand. Now, in order to play a card from our hand, we have to have a legal card. It has to be a legal card. So we pick a card, we say we're going to play, we play it, and this is, for instance, the green 5. If the green 4 is not on the table, this card is going to be not well received, so to speak. This is going to get discarded. We're going to take one of the top fuses off, and hopefully it's not the last, and then we're going to draw another card back into our hand. So we're always going to be rocking 5 cards. Whenever we play a card, it has to be the lowest value that is unique to that color. So for instance, we have to start with 1. Then we go to 2, 3, 4, and then finally 5. We can play multiple colors at the same time. So we can have the red 1 out, the green 1, the yellow 1, and then play a yellow 2 and still have the other 2 1s there. And then still 2 more room for other 1s to play. 1s are in the majority as far as the number of cards. I believe there's 3 of those. There's 2 of each other number, with the exception of 5, and there's only 1 of those. Hanabi's a game that is a lot of fun. It's so simple. It just works, which was what I really like about it. So, again, our options are to play a card, and then we play it. If it goes into the stack, great. If not, we discard it. We grab another one. If we play it and it's successful, we still grab another one off the top of the deck. We also have the ability to discard a card. So if we know we have junk in our hand, or if we just don't have another play, we have the option to discard a card. And this does 2 things. This lets us remove a card from our hand, put it in the discard pile, grab another one off the top of the deck, put it back in our hand, and then it also lets us take one of our blue timer tokens that allows us to give information and put it back into the pool. So it's a way for us to recharge those tokens as we play. Very awesome concept there. Thirdly, our last thing that we can do on our turn is give another player information. So in my hand, I have a red 1. Now, if we haven't already played a red 1, it'd be wise to the group to let me know that I have a 1 in my hand. It may be even more important to let me know that I have a red card in my hand. Because remember, whenever I give information, I can give you information about a specific number or a specific color in your hand. So I can say that this is a red 1. Or rather, this is a 1, and then the next player may say this is red, and then let us know that this is in fact the red 1. Now, certain times I'll be able to give information to somebody, and they'll know if it's me that I'm saying it for a specific reason. So if there is a 2 on the field, and you see we have this, let's pretend it's a yellow 2, and I have this yellow 3 in my hand, I may look to the player and say, you have a 3 here. Now, if the yellow 2 is the only 2 open on the board, chances are I'm telling this player to say, hey, you can play this 3 onto the board, and then we'll be at that 3 mark. Not everybody's going to be that, I don't necessarily know if good's the right word or strategic is the right word, but my friends know me as a guy that really takes games seriously. So I generally give information that is a little above the novice level, if that makes sense. I'm not going to give you information that you shouldn't use right away, or that you can't use right away, unless I don't have a choice. So that's the way we give information. Again, once we choose give information, we can say any information we want to about a specific number or a specific color in their hand. We point to the cards that are in reference to. So if all of these cards were white and I said, hey, you've got white in your hand, and then point to all 5 cards, that's not really giving them very solid information, unless we know that white has already been complete, and then they know, hey, I can pretty much discard my whole hand. Again, if we do give somebody information about this, we have to take a token from the middle and put it back in the box. If there are no tokens available, we can't give information, which is interesting and a lot of fun. So that's kind of Hanabi in a nutshell. I hope you guys enjoy this. I think this is a really good game to pick up. Again, it was recommended to me by Seth Jaffe of Tasty Minstrel Games in our podcast that we did. It's on the letslevelup.net webpage if you're interested in listening to that. Seth is a really interesting game designer who has made a lot of really cool stuff, including Eminent Domain from Tasty Minstrel. Very neat having him on there. And so, Seth, thank you so much for introducing this to me, because this is a lot of fun. I hope you guys liked this episode of Let's Level Up. I think I'm going to try to do a bit more of this sit-down style when just explaining things and doing the blog and stuff like that. It's a little bit more comfortable, and it also, I think, looks a little nicer in the end with the lighting. So thank you so much for watching. As always, if you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up. It helps out a lot when you do that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and most importantly, game on.